the telltale gearwork. Indeed, nervous, dreadfully nervous I had been, and am still. Yet pray, do not mistake meticulous precision for madness. Have I not conducted myself with the poise of a well-tuned engine? Madness is clatter and rust. Mine is the calm, measured rhythm of a masterwork automaton. I resided for a season with an ancient construct, a once noble mechanoid, fashioned in an earlier age when airships first blackened the skies above London, and Parliament itself was warmed by steam furnaces. His brass plating bore the green kiss of tarnish. His rivets were worn smooth by centuries of service, and his voice issued in weary puffs of vapor. Still, he persisted, as all fine machines do, creaking along by dint of habit and gear. It was not his company I abhorred, nor his tales of bygone days, when the river's banks bristled with mooring towers, and the heavens above the Thames were strung with tethered airships, like lanterns at a festival. Nay, it was his ocular device. One lens, the left, fractured long ago, glowed with a pale bluish phosphor. The thing flickered and whirred, sending out a sickly beam as though it sought to pierce my very cogs. Whenever it settled upon me, I fancied my own boiler heart faltered, my gears slipping teeth. Thus, with terrible resolve, I vowed to rid myself forever of that baleful eye. Mark well my cunning. For 7 nights, as the fog rolled thick past the iron shutters and the gas lamps hissed in the lanes, I crept to his chamber. I moved with the silence of oiled pistons, turning valves with care, releasing not the merest puff of steam. Each night I found the lens closed, and so I spared him, for it was not he I loathed, but the horrid eye alone. But upon the 8th night, oh mechanical fate, as I pushed open the iron-banded door, my lantern's narrow beam fell upon the lens, wide, ghastly open. It glared with that phosphorescent gleam, that fractured cold light. At once my boiler roared, my pressure gauges spiked. I heard the whir of my own turbines quicken. And then, beneath the clamor of my agitation, I heard it. A ticking. Soft at first, the measured talk of a wound spring. Yet it grew louder, swifter, insistent, a terrible metronome sounding doom, his infernal mainspring, that ancient heart of steel hammering away within his frame. Louder, louder still, until I feared the neighbors, tinkering at their rooftop laboratories, might hear. Driven by dread, I sprang forward, seized him in my iron grasp, and with one mighty surge of pressure bore him to the floor. A hiss of steam, a final wheeze, and he was stilled. Do not think me careless. With wrench and gear spanner, I dismantled the body where it lay. The copper limbs I stacked like firewood. The torso I unbolted with delicate attention. The head, with its hideous lens, I detached last, placing it beneath a panel in the chamber's steel floor. I set the planks back in place, tightened the rivets, polished away every trace. By the time the midnight bell of St. Paul's tolled, not a cog nor drop of oil betrayed me. A knock then. 3 constables, their leather coats damp with fog, their goggles glistening with dew. They spoke of a shriek, a hiss reported by some vigilant airship pilot passing overhead. I smiled, welcoming them, for what had I to fear? I bade them search every brass-bound corner, every pipe and panel. At last I led them to the chamber. With the genial air of a host, I placed chairs precisely over the hidden boards. There we conversed pleasantly of engines, of the Queen's Jubilee, of the marvels of Babbage's calculating engines. My speech was fluid, my gears spun smooth. Yet ere long I caught it again, that sound. Tick, tick, tick. At first scarce audible above their prattle, Yet with each passing minute, it rose tick, tick, tick. It echoed in the copper walls, reverberated in the very boiler of my chest. Louder, faster. The sound of that damned mainspring I had silenced. I spoke more rapidly to cover it. I stamped my iron feet upon the boards, rattled the poker against the stove, raised my voice until the brass rafters rang. Still the sound mounted, shrill and incessant. Tick, 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 tick. Could they not hear? They smiled, those constables, sipping their tea, nodding as though all were peace. But surely they mocked me. Their calmness was pretense, their civility a mask. No longer could I endure. My valves burst with steam, my gears shrieked in torment. I tore at my brass breastplate and cried out, "Wretches, mock me no more, I confess it! Tear up the planks, there! Beneath your very feet lies the fiend. His cursed gear still ticks. I am guilty, guilty!"